I was so excited to watch the Krusty the Clown show. This is the sixth episode of the third season of the Tracey Ullman show Simpson shorts, and it's pretty brilliant. So there will be spoilers from now as I talk about what happens. Of course, the whole thing is only about a minute in length, but as an introduction to Krusty, it's pretty good. But it also helps to lean into the theory that Krusty was possibly going to be Homer Simpson. I don't think it was ever a concrete plan that they had when they designed Krusty. As far as I'm aware, I've read different things about the character, but certainly it was one possible approach they were going to take. And in this particular Tracey Ullman show Simpson short, Bart, Lisa, and Maggie are going to watch the Krusty show, and they're very excited. Bart, in particular, is looking forward to this, and I think the TV studio is really nicely animated. We have a nice number of people in the crowd, some really interesting character designs in the crowd, and it's visually really fun. Krusty looks pretty much like Krusty. He's not exactly like the Krusty that the TV show version became, but apart from a few slight colour differences, he is very, very similar. And Bart is not convinced that he's the real Krusty, and he challenges him, and he pulls off his nose, and he makes him say the Krusty motto, and then he pushes him further, and Krusty's voice changes to sound quite a lot like Homer, and he says, "Why, you little," and puts his hand around his throat, just like Homer Simpson. Now, I have two thoughts on this. It then immediately cuts to Homer and Marge at home watching this on television. And my first thought was, oh, so maybe at this point they decided against making him Homer because we're being shown Homer watching him. But then I thought, hang on, they don't mention that it's a live show. So maybe they were watching either it on broadcast later on or they're watching a recording of it. Homer says, "Doe." Is he saying doe because of what Bart was doing? Or did he say doe because he'd just been caught strangling Bart on television? I don't know. I also feel like if it wasn't live, they wouldn't have aired Krusty strangling Bart. So I'm thinking maybe at this point there wasn't an indication that it was Homer. But at the same time, maybe they did air it later on and they were trying to throw us off the scent that he was Homer, so that when they did reveal it, if they went down that path, it would have come as a bigger surprise. I'm probably overthinking it. I just think it's really fascinating that that's initially one of the ideas they had for this character. I think it could have been quite fascinating. I'm glad they didn't go down that route. I really like the character of Krusty, and he has some interesting backstories, and his episodes are often really fascinating and usually quite deep as well. When we dig into Krusty's back life, his personality, his relationship with his father, it's all really fascinating. So if they'd done that with Homer, it wouldn't have been the same. But at the same time, I'd be curious to see how it played out. But this, as an introduction to Krusty, is pretty solid. It's good fun, well animated, definitely enjoyable. And if you're a Simpsons fan and you haven't seen it, the Krusty the Clown show is definitely worth checking out.